Welcome to the Cellini Lodge number 2206 installation of offices taking place at approximately 12 noon today, Sunday, February 28th, 2021. I am the host of the Zoom, Mark A. Ventimiglia, past president of Cellini Lodge 2017 to 2019. This being a historic event in the fact that it will be the first installation of offices for the 2021 season of the 60 plus lodges that follow this ritual in New York State. Historic because it is the first time we have to use Zoom video conferencing to do this ritual because of the 2020 and 2021 coronavirus pandemic. Please enjoy this as we go through the ceremony. Thank you.
Oh, Sue.
Is the light so we can only see you?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I haven't seen you in so long.
Got my bottle of wine for after this too?
I have my bottle of champagne.
I bought these flags.
Ah.
I better not show this flag. On Amazon.
Michael in the background.
To know that this is the earliest installation being done, perhaps in America, and the first time via Zoom. So just bear with us, follow Mark's instructions and mine as we go through the program. Good afternoon, and welcome to this historic moment. It's now 12 noon, according to the clock, the watches. And I don't know about you, but I've got my bottle of champagne back there. So hopefully you're going to toast this at the end of it. It is a historic moment. The Cellini Lodge, as most of you know, founded on September 29th of 1968. We've had 52 of these events and never before a Zoom. We've always been together, embracing one another, but we're making the best situation we can. Everybody looks great. There are many pages. I'm up to 4 pages, so we can only really see 25 at a time. You probably have an arrow to the left, to the right, and you could probably see many other people. But according to Mark and myself, we're gonna have to keep this in a controlled environment, so to speak. Otherwise, we won't get through the program. We know you all wanna talk to one another, and probably at the end of it, if we have time, we can stay on as long as you want. You can hug one another if you're together with a loved one, or you can send us kisses, or however you wanna deal with it. And so now to start off the program, and I will be explaining what's going to happen. You have to make believe, as I am, that we are together in a large room, and we're trying not to leave out anything that we normally do. So one of the things we do, and you could sit if you want or stand, but at this point, we've tried to involve every Cellini past president. And I want to thank our production crew of Mark Ventimiglia, Grace Ferrara, who's put in a lot of time gathering all this information, as well as Alfonso Squillanti and all the others. But among the 4 of us, we've tried to pull this together as best we can with the help of our outgoing president, Anthony Calabro, and Mary Modica, our new president-to-be. So the first thing we're going to ask is our Pledge of Allegiance. And so you're going to see the flags appear momentarily. Take it away, Brother Mealy, Brother Rando, Brother Malazzo, and Vincent Iluzzi.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And now the national anthems to be led by past presidents Mark Ventimiglia, Grace Ferrara, Angelo Ferrara, and we're very happy to see Honorable Anthony Durso, a former assemblyman for New York State, and well on the road to recovery. Good to see you all. Let's now have the national anthems of Italy and America. Thank you very much. And also to pay thanks and tribute to Gina Ferrara Franchi for getting us the wonderful backdrop of the opening scene of the trees, as well as the American and Italian flag. Thank you, Gina, so much for doing that, because it really showed up beautifully. At this point, we would very much like to have our own chaplain with us, Father Scolaro, pastor of Notre Dame, but he is at Mass right now, announcing once again the major campaign for the parish. But we have with us our assistant chaplain, sister member of the Cellini Lodge, Joan Marchicelli. Joan, please lead us in prayer.
Sorry, had to unmute, I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Dear Lord, we are gathered today to participate in the installation of Mary Modica as our new president of the Cellini Lodge. We ask that Mary and her soon-to-be inducted slate of officers may lead our lodge to forge together in a partnership of trust and respect. We ask you to assist us to work as a unified team to accomplish the goals of this lodge. We give thanks to you, Lord God, for the service of Anthony Calabro for the past 2 years. With your help and support, Anthony has brought us through 2 very unique and challenging years. Anthony and his officers have, by the grace of God and the support of the membership, kept us strong and successful organization. In the name of the, do you want to say the Lord's Prayer or time? Joe, what's going on?
Okay, that's it.
Okay, all right. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, amen.
Thank you very much, Joan.
You're welcome, Joe.
Okay, at this point, what's going to happen is that Brother Calabro is going to extend his farewell remarks, and he will then hand the gavel over to our state president and our district deputy, our own deputy, Anthony Ventiera, and then they will conduct the ceremony of installation. They have the listings of the outgoing and incoming officers, and assisting them will more than likely be the assistant heralds, Luigi Squillante and Gina Ferrara Franchi, who will have been appointed by the state president and the deputy to do that. And then after that, we will then move into the next piece where we'll introduce our new president who will have been installed. So please sit back, relax, make sure that you're muted so that you can hear those who will be speaking. And the only ones speaking will be the ones I just mentioned. So now let's give really a warm round of applause, if we can, silently together, to welcome our outgoing president, Anthony Calabro, who has led us through extraordinary times. Anthony Calabro, president of Cellini Lodge.
Thank you, Joe. Welcome, national and state officers, lodge presidents, dignitaries, members, family, and friends. Welcome to our installation ceremony. Congratulations, Mary, for being elected the next Cellini Lodge president. You're going to do a great job. I am looking forward to working with you the next 2 years. You have always been a hard worker and always volunteered your time. I know you will keep the lodge strong and moving forward. Congratulations to the incoming officers. I know with your hard work and Mary's leadership, we will be just fine. As I said in our newsletter, I guess you can say that my presidency was split in 2 halves, before COVID and after COVID. BC was the order as normal. We had our scholarship dinner dance honoring our past president, Mark Ventimiglia. Our convention was terrific and Cellini was well represented. We had all of our social and fundraising events, scholarship night, and of course, our tremendous feast. The adult and children Christmas parties were well done and well attended. We did a great job with membership and keeping our membership numbers steady. Our last pasta night was truly an incredible event with Christopher Macchio as a musical entertainment. We were able to hold our installation general meeting in March 2020. All our new officers were installed. Little did we know that this would be the last time we would all be together for a meeting for a whole year. 2 weeks later, we went into shutdown. AC began and everything changed. The word Zoom became the newest word everyone knew. We held all our meetings virtually. Although there was so much happening and we couldn't physically be with each other, I wanted to make sure that I kept everyone updated on how our lodge was operating. We rescheduled our scholarship dinner dance from April to October, and then unfortunately it was canceled. We still had many obstacles. We did not let COVID-19 stop us. In May, the officers decided to send dinners and lunches to 4 of the local hospitals. These special healthcare workers, our heroes, deserved it, and they were all so thankful for what we did. Our scholarship committee pushed on. We were able to award scholarships to the 7 local high schools and to 4 members' children and 1 grandchild. We then held 2 very successful food drives. We had so many boxes of food that we were able to divide them up to 3 local churches. The offices all decided to come up with ways to try and bring in the funds needed to operate the lodge. We decided to have an online jewelry sale. We did a Share the Wealth board, and the biggest thing was a raffle. We asked our members to help with this fundraising. We asked the members to reach out to friends and family to do what they could to buy or sell the raffle tickets. Some members generously just donated money to help. Our members pulled through. We had a very successful raffle. It was so humbling to see how the members pulled together to help our lodge. I thank you all for your participation. Our king, Michael Vitucci, came up with a great idea to write cards of inspiration to homebound seniors through the Catholic Charities of Long Island. Michael brought his amazing idea to our community outreach chairperson and past president, Alfonso Scalanti. They reached out to our members and asked them to write out these cards. The members and officers got together and wrote out 250 cards. Michael presented all the cards to the Catholic Charities and made 250 homebound seniors very happy for the holidays. Alfonso had some blank cards left over, so he and his family wrote them out and sent them to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. He partnered up with Alfonso again and asked for the help of his brother Peter and Ronnie Marciano. This time they ran a very successful coat drive. Many of our members and friends donated coats and scarves so Michael could deliver them to Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Long Island. What fantastic work these young men did. Our youth and lodge future is looking very bright. Even though a pandemic, we were able to bring in close to 20 new members this year. Thank you to all our recruits who sponsored these members. At this time, I would like to thank our past presidents who I relied on for advice. They were so very helpful and supportive. Thank you to Angela Ferrara, who was my principal trustee for both years. Angelo, your advice and guidance was much appreciated, and I thank you. Last but not least, my executive board. We worked together in a year that none of us had ever experienced before. We stayed active and worked harder this year than any other year I can remember. We were the glue that held us together. Personally, I was very proud of being the District 2 President's Treasurer in 2019 and 2020, and the Chairperson in 2020 and 21. I had to follow in the footsteps of my Cellini past presidents. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank my family for their love and support, especially my forever First Lady, Janet. She keeps me grounded when the unexpected happens, and she's the first one to give me a smile when things go right. I would never have been able to do this without her. As I always say at the end of my newsletter, may God bless you and your family, our lodge and our order, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you all again for joining us this afternoon. Thank you. Okay, brothers and sisters, please come to order. Joe, we're ready to go?
We're ready.
Okay. Will the State Deputy Anthony Ventiera please preside in my place for the installation of offices?
Thank you, Mr. President. I would ask that our New York State President act as herald for the purposes of this ceremony. Anthony Naccarato.
Worthy District Deputy, I'm ready to act as requested. I will call the outgoing officers for the 2021 period. President Anthony Calabro. Vice President Mary Modica. Second Vice President Colleen Ferraro. Immediate past President Mark A. Ventimiglia. Orator Joanne Grossman. Recording Secretary Maria Irachi. Financial Secretary James Episcopio. Treasurer Louise Squilanti. Correspondence Secretary Matthew Duffy Jr. Principal Trustee Angelo Ferrara. Trustees Angelo Ferrara, Doris Alfaroni, Stephen Canizzato, Francis Dolan, Michael Dolan, Don Jidus, Aurora Glover, Carol Lynn Marino, Juliet Milazzo, James Principali. Sentinels, Master of Ceremonies, Matthew Duffy Sr. and Grace Discala. Sentinels, Maria Durso, Gina Lombardo, and Joan Marchiselli. District Deputy Anthony Ventera and Chaplain Reverend Joseph Scolaro. Commissioners of Arbitration, Joanne Duffy, Vincent Aluso, Michael J. Mealy, and Gerald Merola.
The Herald, please express the appreciation of the Lodge to these officers.
Worthy officers, the Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America thanks each and every one of you for your devotion and dedication as an officer of this lodge. Your many hours of sacrifice away from your families and employment on behalf of the Order are appreciated. You have been our leaders. If you wonder whether your efforts have been appreciated, let us say clearly here now to all of you, yes, your efforts have been appreciated and deeply so. It is easy to stand aside and say, I'll do it as each one of you have done. We are proud to proclaim that we had the privilege to serve under your leadership.
I now ask the Assembly to join me in a round of applause for the members of the outgoing council. Will Luigi Squillanti please call the newly elected officers? Will the Herald please greet these officers?
Commissioners of Arbitration, Denise Alfarone, Maria Durso, Angelo J. Ferrara, Vincent R. Luzzi, Gerald Marola, and alternate Phyllis Capasso. Sentinels, Stephen Canizaro, Anna Hack, and Christine Kajalowitz. Mistress of Ceremony, Grace Descala. Trustees, Michael Dolan, Joanne Duffy, Matthew Duffy Sr., Olivia Duffy, James Episcopio, Dawn Jutice, Maria Irachi, Juliet Malazzo, Francine Werther. Correspondent Secretary, Aurora Glover. Treasurer, Lawrence Werther. Financial Secretary, Mark Papagni, sorry. Recording Secretary, Matthew Duffy Jr. Orator, James Principali. Immediate past president and happiest person, Anthony Calabro. Second Vice President, Joanne Grossman. First Vice President, Colleen Ferrara. And the newly elected president of Cellini Lodge 2206, Mary Modica.
A point of information so that we can get to see everybody. If the newly officers to be sworn in, stay right where you're at seated. Otherwise, we're going to see parts of your body standing up. So just put your hand over your heart and that will make life easier.
Will Harold please greet these officers?
Worthy officers, today you will become the new leaders of this lodge in our beloved organization. Your task is a formidable one. We are the oldest, largest, and most geographically represented organization of Italian heritage in this country. Your challenge today is to ensure that we continue this success. Always remember that the future of this lodge depends upon the manner in which you perform your duties. We look forward to your dedicated leadership.
Madam President, are you and the members of your council ready to take the oath of office?
We are ready.
Please place your hands over your right hand over your heart, and the herald will administer the oath.
I will read the oath and I will ask you to attest to it at the end. We, the officers of the Cellini Lodge 2206, elected by the will of the Assembly, before the worthy district deputy and the emblem of our order, declare and promise to respect our officials, to obey and have obeyed the laws which govern us, in fulfillment of the duties of our respective officers, and promise to uphold the interest of this lodge and its members. Worthy President, do you promise?
We do.
Yeah.
Now that the newly elected officers of the lodge have taken the oath of office, I declare them duly and lawfully installed.
Madam President, now that you and your officers have been duly installed, I hand you this gavel, which is a symbol of authority. I hope that you will use it with discretion, justice, and impartiality in the best interest of the Cellini Lodge. Please take your place.
Thank you. Now I speak.
Tony?
I'll finish the, I have to read it, Carol. Before the assembly, I promise that I shall be worthy of your faith. Will the herald inform the lodge that the installation is over?
Ladies and gentlemen, the installation of the officers for the Cellini Lodge is over. Please show them your respect.
I thank the state deputy and herald for their cooperation during the ceremony for the installation of officers.
Worthy President.
Worthy President.
At this time, I would like to speak to all my brothers, sisters, and guests. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge those guests who have accepted this invitation. In addition to national, state, and local lodge offices and members, I'd like to thank friends from grammar school, high school, and college, those that I taught with when I started my teaching career many years ago, others who I traveled with and partied with in the Hamptons and in Vermont skiing, my neighbors and my cousins from New York, New Jersey, North Carolina, and Florida. There is an advantage to having it on Zoom because those from out of state would not be able to join us today. I am honored to be installed as president of the Cellini Lodge. The past year has been a difficult one for many of us, and I am thankful to my lodge for their confidence and support. Without a doubt, the pandemic has changed our lives in many ways. A huge thank you goes to Anthony Calabro and his executive board for guiding us through these difficult and often frustrating days, and for planning some impressive and successful activities. Looking at the year ahead, it is now time for my executive board and me to continue to develop programs that help us to be active in a safe and healthy environment. Until that day arrives, we will continue to Zoom, participate in community activities, and plan events that can be held outdoors. When more members have been vaccinated and the state and county lift restrictions, we hope to be able to hold our annual and successful events, such as the feast, our scholarship program, our wreath laying, our memorial mass, and then also offer our members an array of new, interesting, and exciting opportunities. By then, we should also be settled in our new office where we can gather to socialize and play cards again. So many good things have happened and will continue to happen. But for this to take place, we need to retain our current members and install new members. Feel free to call me with your thoughts and questions. In the newsletter, I have listed my email address and my cell phone number. Please also read our newsletter as it contains all that is happening and has happened in our lodge. We need you to spread the good that we are doing, invite others to our events, and above all, to be active members and stay Cellini. So for all my family and friends who joined us today, I also have an application waiting for you. So I hope to hear from you. Thank you very much. And I'm truly excited to be your next president.
At this point, normally, if they were both together, and they both were together, so that you know that just on Thursday night at the officers' dinner for outgoing and incoming officers, Mary and Anthony were able to be together, and you'll see the photos in the next issue of the Cellini News. At this point, we're going to ask that Janet Calabro represent the past president's pin to her husband, as well as the plaque that was presented to him with the retired gavel. How about a round of applause for our outgoing president, Anthony Calabro? At this point in the program, Anthony, you need to make a presentation to your lovely wife, Janet, from all of us.
Was it that now?
Hopefully that arrived.
Yeah. Janet, for being First Lady for 2 years and doing a tremendous job. Officers and members of the Cellini Lodge, thank you.
At this point in the program, we're going to have a presentation. She's already received the gavel of the pin of office as president. It had been done by Anthony, but I think it's going to be represented by Carolyn Rears. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Mary's sister, Nina Modica Principe, is going to present to her a bouquet of flowers from the lodge. At this point in the program, we now have the honor to have our past president, highly energetic, Alfonso Squalanti, who's going to lead us in acknowledging all the wonderful people who joined us today. Alfonso, take it away.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you for all of you who attended, 93 of you so far, so that's pretty strong. I expected most to drop after the national anthems were read. I don't know if none of those guys are going to go on American Idol anytime soon, no offense. But with that said, I want to thank all of you seriously from the bottom of our hearts at Cellini Lodge for attending. It's always a great asset to have all of you here to celebrate with us, both for Anthony and for Mary. We would like to acknowledge some of our lodge and community leaders in no particular order. I tried to do this as best I could, so bear with me. Thank you to Grace for helping me get this together. If I'm missing anybody, please give our apologies. This is an unorthodox type way of doing it. So I will start. Adele Balsamo, who's the president of the Captain Kathy Mazel Lodge. Mary Ann Bartone Prince, New York State District Trustee, District 2. Ciro Capano, New York State Trustee, District 1. Gary Caparco, President, Columbus Lodge. The Honorable Thomas DiNapoli, I'm not sure if he joined yet, but he should be, New York State Comptroller. Joseph DiTrapani, National Past President and COO of OSDIA. Our own Anthony Durso, our former President and Assemblyman serving 16th District. Gina Frankie, New York State Principal Trustee. Frank Frankie, Second Vice President, Columbus Lodge. Jeff Garbone, President-elect, Sergeant Barcelone Lodge. Joanne Grossman, New York State Cancer Chairperson. Eleanor Jabagi, New York State Trustee, District 2. Tom Lupo, National Treasurer. Ernest Magliato, State Deputy and State no, that's Anna. Anna Magliato, State Coolies Anemia Chairperson and President-elect of the Petrosino Lodge. Mildred Mancusi, State Coolies Anemia Co-Chair. Carlo Matucci, past State President, National Foundation Trustee. Madeline Matucci, IPP, past Chair of the GMM. Michelle Met, State First Vice President. Andrew Monteleone, the President of America Lodge. I'm not sure if I said Michelle Mentz, but Michelle, you deserve another one. Michelle Mentz, State First Vice President. I'm not sure if I said that yet. Our State President, Anthony Naccarato. Our State First Lady, Mary Naccarato, in addition to the Chair of the Gift of Sight. Marianne O'Neill, National Foundation Trustee. Richard Nicolello, I'm not sure if he's here yet, but he's the presiding officer of Nassau County Legislature. Marianne O'Neill, National Foundation Trustee. Nancy Quinn, National President. Andrew Riley, State Trustee, District 2. Carolyn Rears, Past President and National Historian. Anthony Rotoli, President of the Viggiano Brothers Lodge. William Sanfilippo, State Deputy of Lodge of Glen Cove and Marco Polo Lodge. Our own Joseph Sciammi, State and National Past President and National Sons of Italy Foundation President. Gertrude Sciammi Doris, thank you for joining, who is the State of Florida Recording Secretary. Carmine Soldano, President of Constantino Brumidi Lodge. Arthur Spera, State Corresponding Secretary. Joanne Spera, who is a State Alzheimer's Chairperson. Luigi Scolanti, New York State Financial Secretary. Anthony Ventiera, our own Cellini Lodge Deputy. Happy to have him. Mark Ventimiglia, our State President and New York State Golden Lion Editor. Peter Zuzolo, State and National Past President. Marie Soriano, President of the Giuseppe Verdi Lodge. Thanks, Marie. And Keith Wilson, State Corresponding Secretary. I hope I haven't missed anybody, and we thank all of you.